It's that time to clear your browser history, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Gloves Off podcast, the last one of 2019 for your listening and potentially viewing pleasure. I am one of your fabulous co-hosts, Master Hand Games, very own Koopa, joined as always by my right-hand men. I guess who's I guess you're the Dick Clarks to my New Year's Rocking Eves. Is that how this works?
I okay, so yes, that's kind of how it works. But the thing is, like, Dick Clark's dead now. Yeah.
Oh, oh.
I think now it's
It is Dick Clark.
Seacrest. It's Ryan
It's Ryan
Seacrest now.
Seacrest.
Yeah.
It is Ryan Seacrest. So, but I mean, come on, like who's Ryan Seacrest?
Dude,
You
he did that American Idol show. You know,
he still does it.
wait, he does.
Yeah,
Wow, it's been
American Idol is
decades.
still happening.
Yeah, it's went away for a year, rebranded, now going into its third new season.
That's kind of remarkable. I'm not gonna lie. That show came out when I was like 10.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of like actual television anymore, but like American Idol is like one of my like two reality TV shows I still kind of watch. So
That's kind of hype. Simon Cowell.
Yeah, it's pretty-
Simon Cowell's not still on it, is he?
no. It's
He
a
moved on pretty quick. I think after the second season or something.
He's like, I gotta go.
Yeah, he had bigger
No,
offers and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, he
No,
did.
it's-
He
it's-
did.
it's-
He did. So you think America has talent? or
Oh,
whatever?
yeah,
Like,
dude, the
he did
talent
that
show.
stuff, yeah.
yeah.
He like started his own thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe the judging panel consists currently of Lionel Richie, Luke Bryan, and Katy Perry. So
All right, Katy Perry got in there.
yeah, if that
That's
tickles
cool.
any of your fancies,
That's like the Masked Singer. That's a big one right now too.
that
It's like
show's
American
fantastic.
Idol,
by the way.
but secretly it's Ninja who's singing to you. That actually happened.
Yeah, that actually did happen.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So all right, before we get into our actual content, we're gonna
This
we're gonna give
is more
This is
interesting,
a
dude.
surprise.
We're
Chris,
just.
we're gonna give you a crash course in what the Masked Singer is. which
I'm
is, like,
so
one of my
ready,
favorite-
man.
Oh,
So-
Chris. So before we started this, Chris didn't know what Fire Festival was. So this is a big day for you.
Yeah,
You're
don't-
gonna learn
no-
about
no
Fire
one-
Festival?
no one
You're
tell
gonna
me
learn about
yet.
The Masked Singer.
Don't tell me yet. I'm actually gonna watch it. This is crazy, man. I feel like you see how it's 2019 year in review today. This is the year in review, except for it hasn't happened yet. That's happened the next 24 hours though.
Yeah. So basically, the Masked Singer is a reality TV show hosted by Nick Cannon, which basically the gimmick of the show is that it takes like a group of entertainers, whether it be from like music, entertainment, comedy, film, etc., and they put them in monster costumes. They just put them in these like outlandish costumes, like picture just like
I've
yeah,
seen
picture, like-
commercials.
picture fursuits, just like not as fur.
As
Always.
what?
I don't know, man. This sounds a little bit like
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
It gets a
looking
little
right
weird.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically it's in its second season. The first season was actually won by a rapper and the man who made the auto-tune famous, T-Pain, in a monster costume. So basically it just takes entertainers, dresses them up in funny costumes, and a judging panel has to take turns each week guessing who is in the costumes. And they're all awful at guessing who are in the costumes.
Dude, was Ninja dressed as this Fortnite llama?
No, he was dressed
No.
as a giant ice cream cone.
Was he ice cream? That's right.
Oh.
And he sang your favorite song of all time, Matt.
He did. He did
sang
Old
it-
Town Road.
he did Old Town
Beautiful-
Road.
Beautiful
Oh.
rendition. Yeah, he did. He did very well.
Yeah, so this season, I believe they had there was like 16 different competitors, and it's funny. The show actually got delayed. Like they had to go on hiatus like multiple times throughout its season because of the MLB playoffs, which was really funny. So there's just like a 2-week stretch where the show just like was not happening.
I love cable television.
Yeah, it's great. So like this season had the season just concluded, and if you don't want spoilers for this season of The Masked Singer, I highly recommend turning off the podcast. Sorry for the folks at home, but if you want me to tell you who won, I could tell you.
Imagine that crossover where someone's like, "I just wanted to listen to my Smash Brothers podcast, and now I'm all spoiled. I didn't know it was Ninja." Could you imagine? Like there's one dude out there who's like, "I can't believe they spoiled it. It was bad. I'm unsubscribing from Spotify, which we're on now."
Yes, we are. Now we are. Chris, would you like me to tell you who won The Masked Singer this season?
Yeah, you know what? I think I do.
All right, so it was won by a gentleman in a fox costume.
Oh.
A person in the fox costume
Ooh.
was Wayne Brady.
Oh, dude, of course. Why was he even allowed to compete?
Yeah.
That's like letting like a past PR player compete in your Arcadian.
What was crazy is that like, a lot of the singers that were he
I was
beat
gonna
out
say like an ex-Olympic athlete, come to your pickup game of basketball. Like
Dude, like Wayne Brady's voice is amazing. Like everybody knows
it
this.
is.
Yeah, so the top three this season consisted of Wayne Brady as the Fox, American Idol alumni and a Grammy award-winning artist Chris Daughtry as a Rottweiler,
Ooh.
and Cheetah Girl and talk show host Adriana Bailon as the Flamingo.
So they're always dressed in the same costume, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, they're in the same costume
Yeah.
every week.
Okay.
It's like their alias. It's like their smash tag.
Yeah, pretty much.
Damn,
so
but
like
you
Chris
Don't know,
Daughtry
but they
was
wear
the
a mask.
And Ninja was an ice cream cone.
Yeah,
Ice cream man.
Wow, good
and it
for
featured. Yeah, it featured a bunch of different people this season, including R&B singer legend Patti LaBelle and Indiana Pacers shooting guard Victor Oladipo, who actually has a very nice singing voice.
All
Mind
these
you.
people lost to Wayne Brady.
Yeah, everybody lost to Wayne Brady.
Well, it's like because you were saying it's not really fair that because Wayne Brady got to compete, but he's going against like Grammy winners and stuff. That seems pretty fair, actually. It seems pretty balanced.
Yeah, no, it's pretty dope. It's just that the videos are dope. Like knowing that Victor Oladipo has like a beautiful singing voice is was truly fantastic. And the judging panel is pretty funny for the most part. Jenny McCarthy doesn't believe in vaccinating her kids, but hey, who's paying attention to that? So yeah, that's our tangent on reality television. Tune in for next week as I give my review of the 16 seasons of Survivor I've watched in the last 6 months.
God.
That's another one. That show's been on for been a couple decades.
That's actually been like so that's actually been my personal not like nerd mission since May. Because
Watching Survivor.
Yeah, so I've watched Survivor like a lot. Like growing up, I watched a lot with my parents, and then like recently, like the last like 7 or 8 seasons, I've been like super locked in. But like I missed a lot in between, and it's going into its 40th season in February.
It's 40th.
Yes.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Survivor's been on the air since the year 2000.
So it has been 2 decades.
Yeah, so they do 2 seasons. They do 2 seasons of Survivor a year. So do the math. That adds up to 40.
Wow.
And for this season, the upcoming one, it's an all winner season. So anyone that's ever won the show is competing against other winners, and that's like never happened before on Survivor. So in order for me to get
they've never done that. I feel like that's been done in so many other shows. Like Road Rules had that for sure. Yeah, I think the Jersey Shore had that because they were all winners, so they all got brought back.
Everybody wins a little bit at the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, so like, yeah, in order to get like the maximum viewing experience for myself, I've gone back and watched all the seasons of Survivor I haven't seen so far, and there's like 31 seasons I haven't watched, and I think I'm currently on my 17th season.
Damn, dude, the tribe has spoken.
Honestly, yeah. I love Survivor. True. Like, put me on your show. I'm perfect television.
Yeah, Survivor. Damn. I can't believe both of those shows, that and American Idol, both been on for like that long. Those are like those are cornerstones of American like TV, like cable TV.
Yeah, no, that's literally all I watch on cable TV.
Huh.
Like, it's been quite the experience, and once I await the day I can finally cancel my CBS All Access subscription, just because I just want to catch up on all the seasons of Survivor.
It'll be a bittersweet day when that happens.
Believe it or not a hard show to binge watch either.
I believe it.
It probably blends together, yeah.
Well, each season's only like 16 episodes, and they're like 45 minutes each. So like, there's been like stretches of time where I just like don't have to go to there's weekends I'm not doing anything, and I could just like bang out a season and a half in like a weekend. So.
Huh.
Don't be like me. It's that's the bottom line. By the way, welcome back to our video game podcast.
Yeah. 10 minutes later.
We might have to do some editing on this one. If you caught the live show, you were lucky enough to get the 10 minutes of definitely just spend 10 minutes talking about reality TV.
It's literally been 10 minutes, yeah.
Our live reunion show.
Well, it
Yeah,
has been a
anyway.
little bit of time, anyways.
Yeah, we haven't done a podcast in like what 2 weeks, I think, something like that.
At
been a
A
least,
week and a half.
yeah, it's been a little spotty recently.
Yeah, which I mean, rightfully so. The holidays are hard. Like having holidays fall in the middle of the week is not fun for anybody.
Yeah, it is difficult. Plus the fact like there just hasn't been quite as much Smash stuff towards the end of the year, anyways, because the holidays have been in the middle of the week. So anything big that happens that requires people traveling, like, it's just not going to really happen.
Yeah, no, you're very true in that statement. But we have winded down here, like we said at the top of the show. This is our last podcast of 2019. What a year it's been! And as you can see, I do have some over-unders, or not some over-unders, just some like general like questions prepared for how we can kind of look at the year in retrospect, just in general and stuff like that. What to look forward to in 2020, and of course, what's coming up right on the horizon this weekend as we get the ball quickly rolling in January. Let's make big moves. So I guess we can. Where do you guys want to start? That's my first.
Oh
question.
man, that is a great question.
We could start with the year in review. I guess that's not a
Yeah.
bad start now to think about it, because we it's been a whole ass year.
Of
It's
Smash
been year
Ultimate, a whole year of Smash
Yeah.
Ultimate. Like when you get down to it, this game didn't exist.
It existed for exactly.
Barely, yeah.
Yeah.
It was in its infancy. People are still trying to figure out if Meta Knight should be banned or not. That's all the fun stuff. But yeah, it's been it's been a crazy year. So I'll start with Mr. Hazmat Rules. How do you feel about 2019 in regards to Smash Ultimate, both personally and at the big picture?
Cool. No, that's a really great question. So Ultimate is, and this honestly, I'm one of these type of people where whatever newest Smash game comes out is my favorite Smash game. Like that's just how it works. I feel like they make good improvements. I like the characters. I like the new stages. I think everything is so fun, and the new system always feels fresh after 5 or 6 years on the old one. So I love Ultimate. I think it is such a fun and great game. The meta is obviously shaping up to be a little campier than obviously the beginning parts of how it's shaped up, and that's okay. I think people are really getting used to parrying and how to throw it in there, and then also the counterplay to parrying, how to like zone out around it so you can't get punished even if you do get parried, or baiting out parries with like tomahawk grabs and stuff like that. So I think the metagame is in a really good place. I think the balance patches have been superb. Little tweaks here and there, some big buffs, and a couple of minor nerfs with I think Pichu and Peach got hit the hardest, maybe.
Yeah, I can attest to that. Yeah,
I definitely think Pichu got hit the hardest. And like characters like Wolf, they slowly tweaked over time, so you kind of forget that he really got nerfed a lot. But he got nerfed a lot in very, very small ways, which I thought was a really cool way to adjust the character, who I always thought was pretty healthy and fine. But I still think he's healthy and fine and like a really good top tier. So I've loved the balance patches. I love our top players. I think they're awesome. I think they're all shining in such great ways. I love that Leffen was playing the game. That's so much fun. I think so many characters are viable. I know it's still early in the meta to say that, but I think there are just so many viable characters, and it's just been a really, really fun and great time. My character got a huge buff, so I was really, really happy about that halfway through.
And who would that be?
Ken, man. Ken. I love Ken. He's my favorite. Like, all jokes aside, he's my favorite character I've ever played as in Smash. Like, for easy, you can count any game. Meta Knight and Brawl, like I loved him. Bayo, obviously. Ryu and Smash 4, like I loved all those characters. But Ken is by far my favorite. Like, it's not even close. So yeah, man, I've had, sorry to ramble on there a little bit, but yeah, it's been a great year. Commentary's been great. Like, there's been a lot of good storylines. It's been really, really fun to commentate, and I know you probably felt the same thing, Koopa. The end of Smash 4, the meta was just so stale, and once they cut off,
Yep.
I really think when Smash 4 truly started to decline is when they declared they weren't doing any more maintenance and no more balance patches, because that's when people really were like, let's find what's broken, let's break the game, and it's never going to get touched, and like that's it, and that's pretty much what happened. And it was just a rough time. Like, there's no end in sight, basically. There's no light at the end of the tunnel anymore. Like, this might get patched, or this might not, or this is not toxic, or this is. So the fact that Ultimate is still getting good patches and more DLC characters, I think it's in such a good spot. Honestly, and I hate to say it, don't ever tell him I told him so, but I'm so happy that Locust is competing again. Don't ever tell him I said that, though, because
there's a brand uphold here.
God, dude. He's just I just want to, I just want, I don't know, a separate
Jab
Twitter
jab
that's-
power dunk, man.
I just want a separate Twitter that's exactly my own, but I have him blocked, and he just doesn't know it. And I scroll through that, and that's it. No, I'm just
Jab
kidding.
jab
I
jab
love
jab
it.
power dunk into Jair, baby.
God. But I'm glad Locust is competing. I'm glad a lot of my favorite players from Smash 4 are doing really well. Obviously, New England is thriving at the top level. Mars and Light, no surprises there. Proud of those guys. Rafi had a great season. We've had a lot of breakout performances, and it's been great to be in New England Smash. And even though there's been some turmoil, a lot of Smash 4 vets in New England aren't loving the game as much as they did, but that's okay. I feel like they'll find it again or they won't. And there's a lot of new people there too, which is always really fun. I've met so many new people this year, man. Sorry, I'm rambling. But
No,
this is good review.
Yeah, a year is long, man. Like you don't really realize this. Like,
dude, literally halfway through, I was like, "Oh yeah, Ken got buff." Like that was the coolest thing. I'd always been on the other side of the thing where I was like, "Damn, I really hope Bayo and Ryu don't get nerfed." Like I'm really that doesn't happen. And then I was like, "Fuck, I hope one of my characters gets buffed, and I hope it's Ken and not Richter because I don't think the Belmonts need buffs. I think they're designed and working as intended." Even though if that means they're mid-high tier characters, because if they're better, they're so toxic and so.
Oh yeah, they'd be mega toxic if they were any better.
Yeah.
It's like if people want they should buff Falco's movement. I'm like,
no, he's
Why would you
so
wanna do
good.
that? Yeah.
No, he's fine. And God, well, he also has the highest jump in the game. Like you can't make that character that mobile. It's crazy. He's got a laser with hit stun. What do you like? Jesus, dude, it's crazy. Don't even get me started.
That thing's like just getting punched in the face. Like
it's so stupid. You want him to be able to move on top of that? That's like people said they want Belmont to have more airspeed because it would help the recovery game. I'm like, so you could combo forward air into forward air into forward air with Belmonts if you increase their movement speed in the air? That's crazy. And the recovery being better? It's stupid, but I think people have either found their character and like love this game or they haven't and they're like, that's the hardest thing. I feel like people who found their character are enjoying the game a lot more than people who haven't. So
yeah. No, I can attest to that too. Like just kind of thinking about how different the game looks now than how it was, a year ago. Like I think back to obviously Let's Make Moves happened around the first week of the game coming out, the first few weeks, and then Genesis happened soon afterwards, and we're going into those same slew of tournaments in January,
yeah,
and there's 6 new characters in the game, or there's soon to be 6 new characters in the game,
and some real top level threats that in Smash 4 might have been considered good players or high level, like Goblin jumps to my mind immediately. Like he's somebody that could beat he beat Tweak at a tournament recently. Like he could beat anybody. So it's just kind of crazy to see this whole new. Initially, it was just looking like the Smash 4, like people were just going to take over again. And then slowly but surely, people really grinded and caught up, and that was really fun to watch for a lot of people who ended up on the PGR.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's that's what I think is so beautiful about how the games look so far. Because I've had a couple of people in mind, a couple of storylines that I've followed closely that we can talk about in a second. But I want to get it from the tournament streamer perspective, Mr. Christopher. How was your 2019 Super Smash Bros. Ultimate?
It was good. It almost kind of I had that weird phase where it kind of blurred between Smash 4 and Ultimate, just from my perspective. Because if you remember, I think it was the night that Joker was getting announced. The game was just about to be coming out. We were just finishing our last power ranking for Smash 4, and I feel like I still never caught ground from that time period. It's just been a mad dash. There's just been so many tournaments. There's been just so much activity, lots of new players, and all the crossover. Has mentioned this earlier in the beginning of what he was saying he liked about it. Even the Melee guys are kind of in on the game, and you kind of have seen all this blending of culture and all the real opinions of all the Smash games and communities kind of came out, and it's kind of been this big culmination of just everything hitting at once, and that's sort of what it's felt like up until now. But it finally feels like some structure. I don't know. It's interesting to see. I actually have seen a lot of just new players develop, which is nice. And even I guess you're saying how some of the New England boys kind of lost interest. I could feel like that almost happens here, but in New Jersey. But it's really interesting, man. I don't know. I still feel like this game just has so much life to it. It still has such a draw to it that everyone comes to, which really is unparalleled, especially as far as IRL video game tournaments go. I can't think of a single thing that garners the amount of attention or care that Smash has proven, especially since Ultimate's come out. So
Yeah,
like, and it's like 1 year lifespan. I just feel like so much has happened that almost feels like it feels a lot longer than a year, basically.
yeah. And I mean, if there's one thing that has been and obviously will be consistent going into the next year is MKLeo's dominance too. Gotta
Mhm.
obviously give him a shout out. He's the face of the game right now. I mean, him obviously Nairo's a big face of the game too because of his stream and his community and everything he does, and obviously love Nairo. But Leo, he's the guy to beat for real.
Yeah, that's that with
He
that, it's like the meta's established, right?
yeah,
At
exactly. And
that
that's a
level.
storyline going into 2020 is who can beat Leo. It's very reminiscent of
Yeah.
who can beat Zero in Smash 4, basically. But the DLC came a lot earlier, and the balance patches came, well, actually, the balance patches came pretty early in Smash 4. But Leo last season, lowest placing as far as the state
33rd, I believe.
last season. I'm seeing
I'm just saying in general. Last
I'm seeing
season, oh god,
second
yeah, no,
at Shine and main stage.
yeah,
Wait,
like
who's at main stage was Zach? Was that?
Nairo.
Oh, it was Nairo. That's right. Duh. Oh, that was a really late tournament. That was great.
Yeah, West Coast tournaments, baby. Ooh.
But yeah, aside from that, I'm seeing a fourth at Glitch, first at Genesis 6, second at Frostbite, first at Summit, seventh at Prime Saga. That might be his worst.
I
Seventh
think
at
it's
Pound.
worse. I think it's worse all year was that Umabura.
Oh, the weekly.
No, it was like the big Umabura. Like it was like
Oh,
one of the first tournaments he went all Joker at. He got like 33rd or
That's
something
right.
like that.
It's weirdly not on this list. I wonder if it's just not. I wonder if they just accidentally.
We don't talk about Umabura.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it never happened because it would mess up Leo's single.
As if 7th place is like this terrible like blemish on your record.
I'm popping off if I get 33rd at a major.
Dude,
man.
absolutely. Yeah, Leo
Didn't you get 33rd at a major? No, you got what?
Did I?
65th?
I think I got no better than that.
49th.
I think I got 49.
That was at CEO where you beat the Pichu guy, right?
Yeah, I did.
Ken Rules.
Yeah, 65th. You were right, actually. I was wrong. I got 33rd at Suplex City.
Let's go.
Suplex City, man. That was one of the.
Let's make moves. Me and Nick C had a banger set.
So that's think about that. Let's make big moves. That was basically the first tournament of the game.
Yep.
And it was obviously a big one. It was, I think, like a big jump off point for what became kind of like Tri-State's prominence as far as like recognizable regions or like noteworthy regions, which it had sort of been the opposite of that in Smash 4. So there was like some really strange shifts in the way the whole scene looks between the 4 and Ultimate, and a lot of things just got solidified over the past year, which would include obviously MKLeo as well as like the cut of people around him, like just around him, whether it be like the Samsoras, Nairo, for example, like was like kind of someone who was like a 9th place king in the times of Suplex City and the first Let's Make Big Moves, but now I would say is probably like what, top 5. I would say top 5.
I'd say top 3 even. With how
Is it
results
that?
have been this season.
Yeah, I mean, towards the end, he's really turned it up. So that's kind of the things you've seen happen over like the past few months. Is like, I forgive the expression, but the cream kind of rising to the top as far as people who really understand the game, and it kind of dictates where the rest of the meta goes, which I guess is a little bit later in the discussion when we talk about 2020.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up because I'm just kind of looking at like how the story arcs of the players have changed so much. Because like you look at what Leo has been able to put together, mind you, playing multiple different characters. Like he won a major with Ike. Like let's just let that think in for a second.
He did.
Like, we're not going to forget that. And then obviously he went through a phase with Wolf, and then he's pretty much just the flagship of Joker right now. And you just kind of look at how the other arcs of these players has evolved, where Tweak is, and I think Tweak's like one of the few players that like started the year and ended the year in sort of that same like archetype, where like Tweak just shows up to the week of Let's Make Big Moves, or to the week of Let's Make Moves. He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna play Wario, and you're all gonna fucking lose, and he did it. And then like I look at someone like Nairo, who's like, notoriously a slow starter. A lot of 5th places, a lot of 7th places, a lot of lower placings than I'm sure he would like. And now he's kind of even out to ship. Or like a player like Zachary that came over to the States with huge expectations as like this. He's this this precision master. He's a robot at the hands of wolves, and now he's a filthy counterpicker. Or like even someone like Mars, like Haz was talking about. Like Mars was notorious for like not really being able to put it together outside of just like his own region, because a lot of like a streakiness is, I think, is the word I would use. And now he's obviously a top 10 threat in the world on any given day. So just kind of seeing how like both the players have evolved, and like you said, the meta has evolved, and tournament wise, it's been a lot of fun to see.
Yeah,
and a good jumping up point there too is with the meta and with players and all that is a lot of people tried their Smash 4 mains when the game first came out and didn't like them at all and switched off of them. It's like even Mars, like he was not gonna go Zero Suit for a while. He was like an Ike, Mega Man, like all these other characters. Like he was really trying out, and he did, co or try main them at one point. But he really was trying to move away from Zero Suit, or didn't think she kind of had it, but he stuck with it and obviously worked out. And obviously she's a pretty good character, but a lot of people like Void and the Pichu, you saw a lot of people trying to mix it up from their mains.
Mm-hmm.
What had happened is eventually, about halfway through the year, people learned Ultimate. They learned how to play Ultimate, and then they went back to their Smash 4 characters, and they're like, oh, damn, they're not as bad as I thought they were, actually. I think they might be okay. And I think in general, the game is just very, very well balanced. And like characters that are polarizing obviously fall in terms of consistency, especially their matchup spreads, like Puff or Little Mac, or even the Belmont's a little stronger, a bit of a character. The character spread is good, and like any character can win. I think any character can win a local. I think that's just facts. And then I think also like any character could do really well at the regional level too, and even the major level. But character spread has been great. And kind of forgot my original point there, so that's where we are now.
So, actually, something that you touched on that I thought was interesting was as far as like people kind of moving away from the Smash 4 characters and finding them again.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like a region, obviously, that's very close to here, so it's easy for me to recognize this in. But like New York is a perfect example of that, because when the game first came out, literally the entire top 15 of their PR.
John Numbers and Inkling. Except for Sinji. Sinji stayed true, bro.
Dude, I'm talking about. I'm just talking about everyone using Palutena. Literally everyone. The whole PR was Palutena themed, and then now you're seeing everyone's. As the seasons progress, everyone's starting to play their old mains again, and you don't really see the Palutenas outside of like Gen and Frozen. When you were seeing literally 10 to 12 Palutenas on one PR.
Well, Frozen's character is essentially gone, and Jen's is mostly gone too. He could play Terry or Ken if he really wanted to, but he likes Palu, so I like his Palu. So.
He was trying with the Terry. I think he got frustrated. It's just such a different pace in Palutena.
It's a whole different character. Yeah, it's like completely. Yeah, you look at the game, it's such a different for sure.
Yeah. So this kind of brings me to like another exercise that I kind of wanted to do here, as we kind of like wrap up the year, because like we said, there was a lot of ground to cover here. Like. I kind of had this like happen to me earlier when I was like thinking of like my favorite. Someone asked me what my favorite movies of the year was, and I like forgot that Captain Marvel came out this year. Like,
oh yeah,
exactly. Like you just kind of forget that like stuff happened. I'm just like, are you sure Avengers didn't happen in 2018? Like that actually happened a few months ago. Crazy. Like it just kind of brings things into perspective for how long.
That's stuff we
actually is.
I just remember talking about like Endgame on this podcast and stuff. I'm pretty sure we have an episode named something 3000. So it's like
I love you 3000.
Yeah, that is kind of nuts because I've seen that. Like I actually saw that recently. I was like, man, I'm really late on this. But now that I think about it, I'm like, oh, I'm within the year.
Huh. Yeah, tune in next week for our film in review podcast. But so I guess
we gotta talk about Parasite in that case. That might be the best movie this year.
I just saw Knives Out. That's probably my favorite movie.
I saw you like that. I need to go see that. But anyway,
it was absolutely fantastic. But that's neither here nor there.
Back to the match.
Yeah, back to. So that's actually a good jumping off point. What do you think was the best tournament that 2019 had to offer us this year? Or like what was the
Shine 2019? Obviously. No, not Shine. I love it, obviously, but go ahead, Chris.
I got my answer actually kind of easy. And it's mostly, it was a lot to do with the production, and that's something that someone like me looks at is a low tier city. I thought was really cool, and that was really early on too.
Run the VOD. Oh yeah, I remember that.
I'm trying to find it right now.
July, I believe.
Dude, it was a long time ago, but all I know is I remember watching a tournament, and basically the way their staging was set up looked like a stream overlay. So all they had were a bunch of cameras, but the cameras, like, I'm just going to find it to illustrate my point here, but basically the cameras, here, I found it. Hold on, is this the right one? Yeah, this is it. Oh yeah, I feel like I have the wrong tournament now, but either way, this has got to be it.
It's not as impressive as you remember.
No, so it's definitely impressive. I'm trying to find the shots because I saw a regular overlay and I'm like,
Is
I
it
don't
in
really
between
remember
games?
that. It's definitely in between games. I'll find it, but I think this is it. This is definitely it. Like, look at that.
Yes,
That
that's
is
right.
beautiful, man.
Good memory, dude. I forgot about those.
I will never forget something like this because I just remember the camera being like this, but a little bit more centered, and I was just like, oh wow, that's a really nice overlay, and I was like, holy shit, that's a stage. And then
Yeah,
ever since I've just been like, wow, that is like a goal that you don't even have to do anything else. Like you just
Yeah.
have your stage look like that. Like you have the wins on each side. You could see, like it has all your info, and I'm like, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it
This
was
is peak.
really, really nice.
This
That
is-
was
This is peak presentation.
last night. What was the tournament called last night again? Or was it
Ultimatum.
Ultimatum.
It was at the same venue, I'm pretty sure.
Ultimate. Yeah. Dude, I was
Esports
gonna say,
Stadium in
I was
Arlington,
gonna say
Texas.
it looked just like
Look
this.
at this. This is crazy.
Yeah, this is
Beautiful.
Esports Stadium in Arlington, Texas, I believe. So.
This was the TriCast with Vicky.
Oh, dude.
No, it was
what
the
it
Quadcast, wasn't it?
There
No,
is.
I think it was
No,
Tri-
you're right. Yeah, no, there was Vicky,
and the
uh,
Texas guys.
and
Neighbor.
then
Yeah.
and then Vitch was like the host.
Oh yeah.
Dude, there's this
Um,
really obscure clip. It sounds like someone farting on commentary in this.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I'll be able to find that, but it just.
Yes,
I
of course
just,
you will. Go to that channel's like most watched clips, and it's gotta be up there.
Or watch our podcast about it where we laugh about it like children
Dude,
for I think.
yeah.
I'm
Definitely.
still laughing.
Definitely get the giggles, but I remember that. And here's something that I think watching the last Texas tournament that is what's going on there. What's that sound? What is that? What is that?
What?
Right there. That sound. What
What's
is that?
that?
Oh,
Oh,
my
sorry, I was eating candy.
God. Oh my god! Right in the ears.
My
It sounded
bad.
like someone was.
It's like,
it sounded
what,
like
what
a-
sounds?
Like a cartoon, someone was stepping on a bunch of bugs, like a bunch of worms, and there's like
Dude,
right in my
like that part in Men in Black where he's like
Yes.
stepping on the roaches. He's like, was that your
Correct, yeah.
auntie? Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I don't even care how old that reference is. Everyone likes Will Smith, so it works.
It's true.
Let me see you nod your head.
What was I gonna say? Something that's underrated, and noticing it from those two Texas tournaments, Low Tier City and Ultimanium, last night, was having local talent at the later parts of bracket, especially the one last night, Ultimanium, where it was a C tier, so it was mostly, I think it was actually all local Texas talent. So I would have loved some insight as to here's Grayson and not Bestness. Here's Grayson and who's the next
Austin.
player there? Austin, that's right. He's not Bestness.
May he
Uh,
rest in peace.
Here's Grayson, and yeah, hey, he's going to Genesis. I think he's done, so that's good.
Dope. Good for him. That's awesome.
So it would have been great. I had no insight as to is this a huge upset for Grayson? Like, is this a big deal that he won this tournament over Austin? Like, was he the 3C, like the 4? Obviously, you can get the seeding information from anybody, but knowing the history, that's only something that a regional commentator can know. So I don't know. It's just like an interesting takeaway I had from last night. And that's what made me think of it, because throwing Vicky on a TriCast with two people who knew all of the commentators or knew all the players and stuff really well. I mean, I liked all the commentators. I thought they did a good job on the TriCast, but it was just like, damn, like there's you take two static, basically, partners, and then you throw in a third person. And Vicky's awesome and she's a great commentator, but like
Mhm.
it was just not, in terms of like team building or synergy for commentary, not the way I would have done it. I don't think. Like having one local guy and having like a big name or like a big talent or whatever you want to call him, I think that's a great mix for
Mhm.
top end commentary.
I agree.
So, and I think if your local major, your local big tournament isn't giving you a shot, you know how hopeless that feels. You know how hopeless that fucking feels when they're just like, yeah, we'd rather
No.
pay them more from the outside. Fuck that.
Yeah, that's actually a really bad precedent to set.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts. It really hurts.
It is. Yeah, but I think the Texas boys, I think they're good commentators. I don't think they'll keep getting work. So
Yeah, and we will see a couple of them this weekend at Let's Make Big
let's make
Moves.
big moves. That's right. Damn.
We'll get there eventually. So, what was your 2019 tournament of choice, Hazmat?
Oh man, there are just so many that I return to, and I have an equally good time or a better time, like CEO or Shine, like really good. Shine was a little funky this year because it was in Worcester and it wasn't in Boston. So for me, that was a downgrade because I love Boston so much. I love showing people around in Boston. And
Shout out to that Mexican spot though across the street.
did I go there? I don't think I went.
You were there. We were there together
Did we
at
go
some.
there? Oh, the bar. Oh, the bar, not like the restaurant. Okay, I got you. Yes, I definitely went there several times. Okay, you're right. I'm sorry. Totally forgot. I was picturing the wrong area. Anyway, so like CEO always a good time, Shine always a good time. For me though, it'd be a major I always wanted to go to, never did, and then finally got to, and it was amazing, and it's one of my favorite tournaments. I hope I'm going back this year. It was a Gommel. Gommel was that's the one Tweak one. I think he used Roy
Yes,
to
he
reverse
used
Rio
Roy.
Mars.
Setting up the let.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, so that was okay. No, I'm kidding. I love Tweak as a player too, but so that was really fun to watch. Like the top 8 for Ultimate was amazing, but then also Mango randomly won. Like it was one of the 2 tournaments I think he won this year, so that's always amazing to watch. So Gommel, incredible event. Tio, Joe, and Max, they do their shit really well. I highly recommend. Smashers don't want to go because like, oh, I got to get a passport. I'm like, dude, A, you should get a passport for a million other reasons than fucking Smash. B, it's not that hard to get. You just got to do it. You just got to sit down and fill out the paperwork, and that's it. And then you go and turn in your shit, and they do a background check, and that's it.
I'm getting my passport in a couple weeks. Actually, I already did all the process for it. So
There you go. You just got to do it, man. You just got to get the process started. It's a
Yeah.
pain in the ass, but you get it done.
But once you have it, and it's like good for a long time. It just
Seven
nice to
years
have.
or
Yeah.
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So Gommel's my choice. Yeah, to cap it off there.
cool. I'm gonna go with if I'm gonna go with one as from a commentator standpoint, Super Smash Con 2019 was probably
Yeah.
my high point.
Oh, dude, we had so much fun
that
at
was a
Smash
good
Con.
time.
Yeah,
we did,
just like-
we did Brawl top 8 or Smash 4 top 8.
Smash 4, yeah, we
Oh,
finally got
God.
our top 8 together. It's just it took us forever, but yeah, like it's just a fun time, man. I've gone to Smash Con almost every year, and I always have a great time regardless, just because it's a convention. It's hard not to have a good time, but just like Smash Con is like as a comment to get on the commentary roster, has always been kind of it's been difficult
It's hard.
to say the least the last few years. It's a hard ticket to get. It's one of the hardest tickets to get of the year.
It's
And
probably it's one of the most competitive for like a Smash exclusive event. Like Evo's probably the hardest flat out, but yeah.
yeah,
For
so like
Smash is probably Smash Con.
yeah, so like just not only just to be able to like be on a roster with like a bunch of my colleagues and friends and stuff like that, but like I was working a lot that weekend. Like there's
Yeah.
between doubles and then we got to work together a lot, and then we got to present an award, which was cool.
That was dope.
That was a lot of fun, and just like the event in general, like atmosphere wise, was fun. I didn't enjoy getting home at 3:00 in the morning.
I forgot you
you
did that.
Yeah, shout out to Tweak, man. But that's my dude. No, but yeah, everything was just super, just fun. It's a great spectator experience, and just getting to hang out with the boys, all weekend was it's obviously a lot of fun as well. But from a sheer spectator, Evo was probably my highlight of the year, just because like looking at like the story of like what MKLeo has been able to accomplish this year, and like I think Evo is just kind of like, wow, like this man truly is unstoppable when he's playing at his best. Like after Leo lost to Kameme, and it was like I don't know, like maybe Evo will elude Leo as it has the great players in the past, because like if you kind of look at like your favorite players, like they don't always do good at Evo, like Nairo,
Yeah, no.
notoriously doesn't do well at Evo. Mars didn't do that hot this year. You guys kind of look at like who your top players are. It's just like Evo is kind of a bloodbath for like a lot of like normalcy.
I might be able to name that top 8 off the top of my head. You had Light and Proto Banham. That was a match. Tweak and Leo, obviously. Kameme made top 8, yeah?
No, he did not, I believe. I believe the top 8 was
I fucked it up already. I was feeling confident. I knew 4 of them. I was like, I can figure the rest out.
So it was Light, Proto Banham,
Yep.
Zach Ray,
That's right.
Leo.
Wait, was it? I mean, I believe it.
Gluttony, Samsora, Raito, and Tweak.
Righto. Okay, gotcha.
I don't know if that's the order which they played in, but that's what I recall.
I wanted to see Ryder do so well in that top 8, but oh well.
Yeah, and then he got smacked up by the high schooler with the gun.
Didn't he do it in he was in Winterside though, right? Wasn't that the thing?
Yes, he got Winterside top 8.
Also, Chris, I totally watched that clip. Someone 100% farts at the 15.
Yeah,
right at the
dude.
14-second mark.
I'm gonna play. You guys don't feel to hear it, but I'm gonna play it for anyone who's
All
watching.
right, we'll play it. Let's cue it up. Just tell us when you're gonna go.
All right,
Let's play.
All right, hold up. Let's
Countdown
go.
3 to 1.
All right, let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Let's trap a Charizard. That forward tilt sets him off stage.
100%, dude.
Goes for a down tilt
It's
just
so
to catch
funny.
Debuz's option.
I love the patience right here. We're going to go for a downer. Yes, we are, but Debuzz still manages to get back safely. And the patience from both these players.
God.
Get the forward throw instead. Although still living. I like how Tweak is always the forward throw
From
instead.
both these players.
Get the forward throw instead. Both these players. Get the both these players.
If I ever fart on
Patience from
commentary,
both
please
these
call me out
players.
about it.
Get the forward throw.
Oh,
Patience
man.
from both these players.
That's so
Get the forward
funny.
throw instead.
Dude, I think it had to have been a mouth noise, but it
Yeah,
sounds like
definitely, yeah,
such
yeah.
a
There's
fart,
no-
dude.
Because that like sound. we're getting
Imagine a
so into
mic
this,
being
but-
that hot.
It just
Like,
sounds.
yeah.
It sounds
hear
like
the
a
breathing.
it sounds like a cartoon.
Yeah, well, that right, like that sound of fart in particular probably wouldn't make it. And they were like in a fucking arena, like I don't know.
It's like a
Maybe it is.
cartoon fart.
Oh, I'm glad I found it.
Oh my god. But yeah, Evo, just watching Leo tear dope, and like the commentary was fun from a spectator experience too, just because Coney and Senpai are dope and some of the best to ever do it. So it was a really, really fun time to watch. I'd love to attend Evo one year, but we'll see how that we'll see what 2020 entails. But
Yeah,
I guess there's something else I'd like to ask is who was your who do you think made the biggest impact player wise this year?
oh man,
I got my answer right off the bat.
go for it, man.
Meister.
Oh,
Biggest impact, Meister. I mean, I don't think that's like inaccurate. There's been like
just-
more conversation about Meister than probably anyone. It's because no one's really known what to think about Game & Watch probably until recently. I think there was kind of this thing like people thought he was just kind of a bad character for
yeah.
the bulk of this game's existence so far, and then it turns out that like the character's got some BS, just
Yeah.
some, and then Meister knows how to use said BS, and it's so facto you go from not being PGR'd to being a top 10 player. So
Yeah, I just think if you look at who's like this like the last like I don't know 6 months of the year or whatever, like who's been like one of the
not
most
all year.
well, I just meant like just like in general, like if interesting storylines for
I think
players and stuff.
season wise, the first season, it's got to be like Myron. Like Myron, the first
Yes.
season of Ultimate, like he was ridiculous, dude. He was such a threat.
Yeah,
All of our nerfs hit him really hard, like really, really hard.
Yo, dude, did he get second at that Frostbite or
Is
Yeah,
it
it was
third?
second he got
Yeah, because
third
it
or
was
something?
tweaking Leo and Grands, but he
so he got third?
that frostbite
those nerfs really did hit him hard. You're right.
so hard, dude. Like the hardest.
He may have been hit the
'cause-
hardest as I think
Because I
about
was
it.
gonna say season 1-2, Shuton. He got fifth, dude, above Debuzz, Nairo, Void, Light, like Cosmos, all these people who would previously
very
ranked
true.
above him. Zach Ray, he's got to be mentioned too. People barely knew him from Smash 4, even though he was sick at the end of Smash 4. He's picking up steam.
Yep. And I do
Uh,
think if you just going back to shoot time really kind of look at the other like resume of Japanese players that like have come over from
Yeah.
the States and succeeded well. Like Abadango was always a consistent force in the
He's
top
gone.
8.
Like,
in the
where
top
is
10.
he?
Yeah, he's
He was
irrelevant.
PGR. No, he was PGR. Oh,
Well, I mean, I
Relative.
just meant for his
Yeah.
standard. You know what I mean?
right.
Like
True.
Abadango has always been looked at as this top 10 threat. Kumar Kiri, a top 10 player, a
So, yeah.
non-factor right now. Ken, a top 10 player near the end of Smash 4 and is again non-factor. And out of the cream that rose to the top of that crop, it was
Shuton.
Shuton. Like
He
and-
did
and
have
my-
he did have broken Olimar at that point. To be fair, like that's a big thing. But he did outplace Myron and Debuzz, which is enormous.
yeah, no, very
That's huge.
true.
That's huge. That's huge. And he still plays Richter, and his Richter's sick, and I love that. So that's cool.
Where
So
were
he
you?
gets
Where
a
were
shout out.
you, man? When's that back tattoo?
I was
coming,
at that
man?
frostbite. I watched that happen live. I freaked out. I saw it live, dude. That was amazing. Yeah, I take it all back. Frostbite was the best tournament because I saw
Rumor has it Dark Blue still hasn't landed on
that.
popping off so hard.
Yeah, it was
I would
against
also
Shuton,
say-
wasn't it? That Pikmin
Yeah.
thing?
Shoot
I think it was
against Byron.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because we're all just like, oh, Olimar did a Red Sleeper, and the whole venue just like lost.
To be
collectively.
fair, going to Richter doesn't really help. People are just excited. Like it was literally the worst, and it just moved to second worst, and people were like, "Oh, that's way better." Another one is Gluttony. I gotta say, It really made like he was big in Smash 4 and really good, but he played Wario and Wario sucked, and then he tried to play Cloud and like it just didn't work. And everyone, especially like I feel like because I know CAC, so I know like the French Smash community, like they love him obviously, and like he's really good in the Europe scene in general, but especially the French scene. And like they talked about how good he is and like how good he could do, and then like he played Wario in Smash 4, so like that just sucked. But when he finally got his character in Ultimate, now he's a top 10 threat. He's so good. I'm so glad it was finally something we got. It was this big rumor to me that he would take over if Wario was good, and I'm glad to have seen it, kind of come true.
Yeah, I think Anti was someone that brought this up like months ago. He's like, it really hammers home like how bad Smash 4 Wario was, because like Gluttony was still like putting in work overseas with the character that was like barely functioning, and now Wario is a meta relevant character and very good.
Yeah.
So,
and don't get me wrong, like he obviously did well in Smash 4, but nothing like what he's doing in Ultimate right now. Like,
no, for sure.
I actually really enjoy watching him play. As frustrating as it is to watch him waft somebody at 20 and they lose, but whatever, he's really good.
Like it was always very rare to me to see Mr. R like lose at like on the home front, and like now that Gluttony's the one that's kind of like taking over the reins as like the defender of Europe for the most part is quite interesting and refreshing.
They had their big tournament on Sunday too, and that was a treat to watch. I watched from like top 12 on. I watched most of that tournament, so it was really good. I mean, the top 3 was Gluttony, who went Captain Falcon and Grands and won from winners. He played. He Quick got second, the Samus.
Yes.
And then was it Mr. R that got third? I think so.
Yes, you're correct.
Okay. So yeah, the one thing I do love about Ultimate is the exposure we get into other scenes. Like it's just way more accessible, I feel like. I love waking up on Sunday mornings and watching EU tournaments. I love having a cup of coffee watching a good top 32, dude. I really do. You got VRM's voice or another good accent on there, another good they have good commentators. You hear it, you get a good accent going, some good matches, some coffee. It's a good way to wake up.
That's like the Smash equivalent of like wanting to watch like Premier League soccer.
Yeah,
that's
especially because it's only like 10:30. Like that's really early for Smash players.
That's kind of how.
Dude, I've been up for 2.5 hours. Come on, start the matches. Yeah, man. So what was the question originally? Like, Leffen was another big one.
I was gonna say Leffen.
Just like important players in like
the
story of Smash Ultimate this first year.
Leffen for sure.
That's a big one too. Yeah,
easy.
Big left man. Like, and I quote, "Man, so angry he refused to lose." Like that was
on the other side. You obviously have to say Salem too. On the other side.
That too. Yeah. Salem is continuing to be the character and the villain he chooses to be. But yeah, again, you just look at there's been just so many faces of like, I think everybody's always kind of known like the top echelon of players have always been really good. Mm-hmm. And then like I think T's someone that also comes to mind because like everybody's like, oh god, Pac-Man.
Yeah. T is so good.
Pac-Man, baby.
I mean, even just looking at it, I obviously only season 1 is up right now. Season 2 is enough for the PGR, right?
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I actually don't know exactly how like well he did. I think he did well enough to like probably either stay where he is or like move up a little bit. That's something else that's coming up soon too. The PGR season is.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, we should. Let's think about 2020 stuff. I was just thinking about that. I was like, we haven't.
Yeah, we could move towards 2020 now because that's like literally on the doorstep as we record this podcast. It is 11 o'clock on East Coast time on December 30th. So.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to think about what this year is going to bring in light of what we've talked about in terms of just like changing meta, and it's hard to, I don't know. There's obviously like still a growing fan base and player base for this game. Like it's still growing, at least from what I can tell. It had an initial boom, and I think it had a lot of the original Smash 4 people, but now it's really transcended that. There's all kinds of new players popping out, but that top echelon is probably going to continue to be a top echelon. And
sorry, that was the ugliest way to try to get my foot in the conversation there. I just like another cool thing too, not just Smash 4 or new Ultimate players, but a lot of the Melee or PM scene, at least around here, has stuck around too. A lot of kind of new from a game that wasn't Smash 4, basically, like PM players. Definitely a lot of PM players actually stuck around.
Yeah, we got a couple of those in our region too, like Jet or Jut, depending on how you look at it, an Incineroar from New Jersey, was also primarily a PM player for almost the entirety of Smash 4. So
We got like if you know, I can picture the dude perfectly. Twisty, if you know him.
yes,
He's been playing a lot in New England. He plays Wario, obviously, so it's cool. Or was at least last time I saw him.
it's a twisty character.
It is, yeah. It is, yeah.
Yeah, or like, do you even look at, because I watch a lot of the Xanadu. Jerry is someone that's been like making strides on their tournaments. Like, he was formerly the Melee Jigglypuff player, and he's been playing Joker, and he like I think he like almost won the their Arcadian, like gets like top 8 at all the Xanadu weeks and stuff like that. So just seeing like the streams continue to be crossed is a lot of fun. So
yeah, for sure.
yeah, and I hope to see a lot more of that. And we did talk about that, like, the meta is going to continue to change, and by the time February rolls around, we're already going to know what the rest of the fighter pass is going to look like, and then we get to play the speculation game for the rest of the year of how many more characters are going to be coming, and then there's still the flagship tournaments that are going to pop up, and how are things like Smash and Splash going to be different this year, or how are this tournament going to be different, or how's that tournament going to be different?
There's going to be a lot of differences, actually, because as you mentioned, Smash and Splash is something that's been like a massive tournament that kind of blew up over the years, and now is going under like a whole regime change.
It's like canceled, isn't it?
I don't even know, dude. Like
so basically,
question. I'm not joking. Like,
yeah,
I
don't
thought
know.
everyone was boycotting.
Yeah, so basically how that all stacked out is that all the TOs of all the games and events were just like, nah, we're done. So we're off. They're jumping off the ship. They're voting themselves off the island. See how I bring it back to Survivor.
Yeah, tribe has spoken, dude.
Yeah, dramatic music plays. But yeah, I guess everybody's just like, all right, well, since now that the major staff people aren't going to be involved here, then like, why are we going to come back? Which makes perfect sense, I guess. So now I guess something else might fill that void.
It was basically a walkout, and there's gonna be scabs that are coming in trying to fill it.
Yeah, no,
we'll see.
Damn,
it's gonna be, dude. Not only that, but enough people have gone at this point to realize that the hike from the airport to the venue is a piece of shit. It is horrible.
Yeah, it's like an hour difference or something like that. Like,
yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah, it caught me by surprise when I went.
Oh, did you go? Oh yeah, I saw you there. Duh. I'm sorry. I have a terrible memory, guys. I promise.
Yeah, like I said, the state of mind is the first thing to go.
I told you, no, it's not.
No, it's the eyes.
It's the eyes.
I'm looking forward to seeing how content continues to grow, just because like there have been more scenes emerging, and there has just been more like, I don't know, just more things to pay attention to, and how it's all going to tie together. Because right now the only one, I guess, main cohesive thing you have that ties the whole Smash community as a whole, rankings-wise, is the PGR. But you got to imagine there's been so many people with ideas of that, and even locally, like what happens. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what happens there. Because, I don't know, the game is still very young in that regard. And if something like this, you still have like a whole fighter pass to come out. I don't know. It's just going to... I think like the best days have yet to come for this game. Because I just think about Smash 4, like... I think would really hit peak maybe like 2016-ish when the game
I stand by the game was the best when I think it was the patch like right before Cloud got nerfed or something like that.
I feel like I know where you're at.
It's one of the patches where like Sheik was the best character, Ryu and everybody was out, and Cloud had just like been out for a minute. So like
just think about that, right? I feel like Ultimate has so many more patches it's gonna see. And especially just in this year and the preceding.
It's kind of similar to what I'm saying. At least there's hope. Like there's always hope. Like if you hate a character or if you love a character, there's always hope that they'll get touched. Like they'll get even a minor nerf goes a long way mentally. I've seen like you'll see it in bigger games that have more data tracking and like a developer that cares a lot more. Where like Dota, if you take a character and it's like, oh, they only gain or they will not be gaining 0.1 strength per level, like as much, and people won't the use rate of that hero will drop significantly, like so much. Like a tiny nerf goes a long way, dude. People were saying that about Wolf too. A lot of people were talking about how Wolf was like, there were small changes in my opinion, but they were like, it's so undeserved. It's like it's unfair. It's like, dude, he barely changed him like at all. Like, what was it like? His down smash killed like 1.2% later, something like it was.
Yeah, it was a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, exactly. but it was enough to get people off of him. I know that happened in my scene at least. People dropped Wolf. They were like, "Oh, never mind."
Yeah, you hear a little bit something
It's-
about a little change in whatever the
Yeah.
knockback is, and everyone's like, "Oh, this character sucks."
All right, I'm
Yeah.
gonna head out.
Character.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So there's always hope. And if you play a character that is underrepresented or like not very good, there's always hope that they'll get buffed because it's happened to so many characters. So many characters. Just the last patch.
Look at
Terry.
people using DK now too, right?
Yeah, that's scary. He's
I mean, dude, he
well,
was already kind of okay and had some.
Yeah.
I mean, he still has some things that are like really bad about him,
but that's the thing that they do too is like the buffs are interesting because they won't directly fix the problem sometimes that the character has. Not all the time at least. But with DK, it was kind of random buffs. Like no one that was playing DK was like, "Please buff his down B." That's what I want. It was like landing up B. Landing up B is all I saw, and he didn't get that, but he got a ton of other things that help him out in different ways. So it's just an interesting kind of direction they ran with the character. There's literally no one was asking for that.
No,
well,
you're right. You're right.
Probably one dude was, but
Yeah, right. That one guy sitting on his phone being like, "Man, sure wish they nerfed Donkey Kong again."
Dude,
the
DK.
K roll buffs, like they're all real.
Yeah, no. Who's the next bad character to get like a
A significant
blow
buff.
up?
Not Little Mac, I'll tell you that much. He's not gonna. He's
There's
not
just
gonna get.
there's
Didn't he already
nothing there's nothing you can do to make that character play like this game is supposed to. Is the problem.
Same with the Belmonts too. Like they're just they're exactly where they want them to be.
Banjo Kazooie.
No,
No, that character could just stay bad for all I care.
That character's solid, bro. I don't care what anyone
Yeah,
says.
but,
that character's
like,
solid.
It's solidly exploitable still.
I don't think he's that bad.
I actually forgot that Banjo was in the game.
All right, let's take a look. I just pulled up a tier list. Didn't Kirby
Like-
get buffed too?
Kirby
Yeah,
did get buffed. Yeah, people are using him
unfortunate-
too.
Unfortunately,
I'll tell you who else is never getting buffed is Bayo.
Yeah.
Never gonna happen. Sorry.
Sakurai's like she's so good.
Ooh, Corrin got buffed already, so that one's out.
Yeah, that's true.
Did Bowser Jr. get buffed?
I think
Actually,
so.
yeah, Bowser Jr. did get buffed. I think that was most recent patch. I reckon.
Yes, you're correct.
I could see DDD getting buff.
Oh, no.
I hope
I
not.
know. I don't hope so either, but
King
definitely
DDD is my sleep paralysis.
dude. They
Like-
buffed Robin. Why did they do that?
Yeah, Robin got like a nair buff for some reason.
Yeah, for the weebs.
Side B distance too.
Like he didn't need an air buff really,
Oh, God.
but he got one.
Solid ass character right there. Oh, it's pretty solid. Ridley could get a buff, maybe. Doc gets zero representation, compared to Mario, so it's definitely possible to buff him.
I think they did that on purpose. I feel like they don't really care about Doc, man. I mean,
Okay, fair enough.
well, I don't know. I feel like it's like the Dan to the Ken and Ryu. Like it's just like he's kind of got him
Damn.
in there, and
That's definitely not how I viewed him, but that's interesting.
well, like
He's like the Dr. Ryu to Ryu.
Dr. Ryu.
It's not a very sanitary.
That's actually-
very
yeah, that's-
sanitary conditions.
that's the one.
I mean, Ryu's from a different time. I'm sure it was doctorate, in the mid 70s.
He's from
Yeah.
a different time, 1992.
So by the time he debuts in the 90s,
I
Well,
could see.
hold on. I gotta look at the release of Dr. Mario now.
I was talking about Ryu.
I
Ryu
know.
came out, I think, in the late 80s.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. So Dr. Mario came out in 1990, so it holds up.
They've already buffed a lot of these characters that are bad. Quote
Sonic
unquote.
the Hedgehog.
Nope. Leave him
Yeah, that's okay.
working as intended. It's like the Olimar thing. They gotta admit to themselves that it is an intended change and not a bug at some point.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Incineroar is another character that comes to mind. I'm thinking
He
about.
got
He's-
buffed?
Yeah,
And they
well,
buffed him already, so.
he got
yeah. Well,
buffed.
no, he already got his buffs. Yeah, mostly
I
recovery.
don't know if they'll double down a lot. Maybe though. What if they, Street Fighter just did that where they added the Champion Edition, which was essentially an expansion pack with like obviously the skins and stuff won't happen, like the character skins and like stages and whatever. Like a bunch of new characters, and in that game there's like V trigger or V skill or whatever, and every character got a new one of those. It would be like if every character got a new B move, kind of. Not quite as extreme as that, but yeah.
Did they give everybody a back special like what Terry has?
Yeah, that would be cool. some characters I wouldn't want that with though. Like the Belmonts, I like throwing the cross backwards. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah, no, that's when they give them the backdash from Symphony of the Night.
Oh
So-
God, the schmovement. That's
Oh,
schmovement
that'd be
there.
sick. Yeah.
That'd be they should have put Alucard in Smash. I'm just saying.
They but
I'm
they
salty
did it
still.
with, it's so possible for them to add new moves to characters, and they've already done it. Like Ken and Ryu, the proxy jab, that wasn't a move. Like that did not exist before they patched it in. That was a brand new move that did a completely different thing. It has the same animation, but before it just popped you up like a little bit, and it was almost completely useless. It was basically completely useless. There's no reason to be doing that. So they changed it, and now its purpose is it's incredible. It's maybe the best combo tool in the game, and they didn't have that before. They just added it.
That's
Fuck,
crazy.
It was fucking crazy. That's a Lucas. I was talking to Lucas about it when it happened. He goes, "Is that a brand new move?" I was like, "Nah, there's no way they added a new move." Yep, they really just did.
That's crazy.
Went ahead and did it.
So, with 2020, I'm changing gears a little bit. What do
Stop
you
fighting
see?
that Ness?
Yeah, I hear it.
I can hear him.
What do you think about as far as like we were talking about how a lot of tournaments are going to be different, and I just want to go back to things like because I wanted to bring this up because this we've talked about Thunder Gaming a lot. I'll just go dead for it.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Did you watch the technicals video?
Of course, I watched the technicals
I know,
video.
I
That's why I
thought of
wanted to
you
bring it up,
instantly.
dude. Like this is one of the greatest, one of the most informed videos I've ever seen. It's very interesting because this was something that we saw kind of come on the scene out of nowhere. Was Thunder Gaming, with lots of money and like a big arena and hiring a bunch of content creators, players, commentators, all these things. Full on business, and everyone's no one really knew what to think about it for obvious reasons, just like because everyone knows there's not a lot of money in Smash. It just the infrastructure doesn't really allow for it. But yet here's this company, and everyone's just like, well, I don't know, man. If they're giving money, it must be good. And it kind of came in sort of.
Yeah, quote me on it,
dude.
I stand by that.
Well, I mean, the thing is they got like they were working very closely with like Panic Global and all these things, and then all of a sudden you have a video that comes out basically saying like, hey, guess what? The guy who basically made Thunder Gaming, or is the CEO or whatever the thing is guy's essentially a con artist, and it goes into a 30-minute video about why, and it's all very like trackable.
Oh, that's why I talked about
info.
Fire Festival this week. I remember.
Yeah.
Oh, is that why? Really?
Yeah.
And-
It's all coming back to me now.
And I'm just thinking about it. I'm just like, okay, so what does this change the landscape in the future? Because I don't know. This was probably the biggest move that anyone's really made as far as organization wise goes, where they just come in and do a bunch of money and then gets exposed nonetheless. So it's, I don't know. I just wonder what stuff of this we have to look forward to more, if any of that, because like that kind of thing didn't even happen in like Smash 4 or even in Melee or anything.
You mean like good opportunities?
Like, well, I mean, what seemed like good, like basically like what's the word I'm looking for? Like an oasis.
Sorry, yeah.
Like an oasis of a good opportunity, like where you're just like, wow, money, and that, it's, dude, it goes back to that the moment where DeBuzz is getting handed tens of or thousands and thousands of dollars, and it looks like a game show. I'll never forget it. It's like ingrained in my head, and I'm just like,
That's your sleep paralysis demon.
The buzz was like
getting handed a bunch of money.
Seemingly everyone
I gotta
on the
find
team
that
is
clip.
getting paid, and like I don't know.
I gotta find. Yeah, but this is the issue though. Is like basically the guy who's paying them is someone who's known to like lie to investors and stuff, and then abandoning businesses. So it just makes me wonder what was the actual move or what was going on. I don't know.
You gotta watch Fire Festival, bro. You really do.
I definitely.
It's so relevant. Sorry for the spoilers.
Shoot. All right, that's fine. I guess I'm probably gonna watch it the next day. So
Right after the podcast.
maybe.
Ring in the new year.
There we go.
Watching with Ja Rule. Very rocking New Year. It's Ja Rule.
Ja Rule's rocking.
Dude, I love Ja Rule.
Oh yeah, you're about to love him a lot.
Yeah, that's my favorite world for sure.
Your favorite what? You cut
High
it.
rule, low rule, Ja Rule. Three of my
Low
favorite.
Rule.
Yeah.
Great game. I loved what's it called? The painting
Link
one.
Between Worlds.
Telling you, man. I think I'm just getting
Yeah.
dumber.
Link Between
that's-
Worlds is really good, by the way.
You're just getting
Worlds is
older.
great. It was the real spiritual successor to A Link to the Past, which is arguably my favorite Zelda game.
It's dope.
That was like
No,
a
but
really
I'm-
good sequel. Yeah, all right, we're done with. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just gonna say like you can't really talk about 2019 without talking about things that did work and didn't work. So like,
Yeah.
It's hopefully it's something. I think the best case scenario for Thunder is that it turns into the MVG route where they focus less on organizing events and on creating content and then getting people in
Yeah.
place.
Is it a
They'll
real?
do things like
Is it
that.
a real
Were
company?
you around
though?
for that, Chris?
Wait, for what?
For MVG, like when they first started? Sandstorm,
Um,
MVG Sandstorm, remember that? Great
I-
Hey,
tournament.
who put the plug?
MacD? Everyone
Yeah.
knows. That's the meme. So yeah, I don't know if you know the lore behind that one. You know who MVG is, obviously, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And do you know
Yeah.
how they started in the community? And
So,
like how
no,
that's a good point.
I'll
Koopa.
take that lure though if you got it.
Yes. So MVG started in like 2018, I think, like 2016. Like Smash 4 already kind of been out for a second, and they
Wait, was Smash 4 out when they first started?
yes, I believe so. Or was it? No,
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it was.
No, okay, you know what? You might be right there. It might have been close to being something. I don't think they did anything like actively close to Smash. No, they had to have been because they had that weekly in Orlando.
All I remember initially
Smash
was
Conference.
the Sandstorm tournament, and I don't know if that had Smash.
Yeah,
4.
basically MVG came onto the scene. Like they had Mewtwo King as their like flagship guy. They had this other guy in a suit that kind of ran everything. And then they ran a couple of majors.
It did have Smash 4, by the way. Good memory.
Okay, yeah, thank
Bad memory by me. It's a plus.
you. Good memory, bad memory. God, sleep paralysis demon.
It's just a fuzz in the
are
corner of
those-
your room.
I honestly can't tell if
With
those
stacks
are
of
real-
tens.
I can't tell if those are real reactions or if he's like hamming it up a little bit. It might be real. Honestly.
It could just be the buzz.
Yeah,
The
I'll
buzz
Can
is
you
a
go back?
ham.
Can you go
Yeah,
back?
I'm definitely gonna go back.
I want a pop off analysis right here.
Hold on. It's someone else's video, so it starts off.
Oh my god, dude. him dancing is so funny.
Dude, the clip of MVG punching or MDD punching the table, and then him just drinking the water with like both
Dude,
hands.
Okay. Pause right there. The
Yeah, hold
face.
Oh, wait,
Because
just-
that could be genuine happiness. That really could. I feel like it is.
Oh my god.
Dude, it's definitely genuine. I mean, he's getting handed
He's getting
just
handed
money.
literally. Yeah.
Those could be ones, but that's still like a lot of money. Like, look at that. That's just like one,
They're
2,
definitely
3,
not either, I don't
4,
think.
5, 6,
gotta be
7,
tens.
8, 9, 10. That's like 11 stacks at least, and he's still piling. 12, 13, 14. Oh, there goes one.
He looked in there for more, by the way. That greedy. Oh, one drop. Never mind. He's good. Oh, that greedy bastard. He wasn't being greedy. All right, that's genuine.
Yeah,
That
passes
the pop-off.
he's happy. He's happy.
The council approves. What was I
Buzz-
saying? Oh yeah, so
Buzz-
basically MVG. So MVG again, they signed a bunch of players. Like they had a bunch of like notable players at the time, but their biggest one being Mewtwo King was like he's also had like controlling stake in the company or something like that. They were organizing. They came into the scene as like tournament organizers. They ran 2 events that both ran like complete dog shit. Like the most infamous one being MVG Sands, in which like the tournament ran slow, like they were in danger of being kicked out of the venue by the time the tournament was over, and then in the middle of grand finals, the power gets pulled on the consoles and everything goes out.
Oh, that's bad. What game era was this?
This was like early Smash 4, I think, like 2015, I think.
Hold on, I got the wiki pulled up. I'll tab to it.
Yeah, but basically, like what happened was that MVG like took a step back. Like everyone's kind of like, who is the CEO?
Yeah, everyone
That
kind
looks-
of bugged after.
Yeah, like,
this.
Everybody kept saying that like the CEO in charge of MVG looked like the villain in the end of a Superman cartoon. like it was just like bad vibes, and like people weren't getting paid. Like certain event organizers were like getting like people were just getting like led along. Like it was just a bad vibe
So,
everywhere. And
did Mewtwo King not create this company?
no, I think he was brought on
Yeah,
to be like
I think you're right, Koopa.
yeah. I think he was brought on to be the face, and then they gave him controlling stake in the company.
Damn,
or
who's
something like that.
gonna do that for Thunder? I wonder who's actually calling the shot for Thunder. That is very interesting because I noticed everyone who's a part of it still has Thunder in all of their stuff, but yet
Right.
there's been no maybe Raito, but there's been like no statement or anything. In fact, that guy's Twitter went like private or not private,
Yeah.
like he did something. It was like locked
Ooh.
for a day and then it went private.
At one point during that video, Technicals goes, I don't know, he might sue me for this. I don't care. I was like,
dude, my reaction was exactly the same when he said that. I was just like, yo, all right.
I think I paused the video.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't know anything about legality or anything, but I think he's just trying to.
I'm no lawyer. but-
everything he
Definition of character or something. I don't know.
everything he brought up was like public knowledge. I
Yeah,
think.
well, the thing is because there was publicly traded companies and stuff involved
Yeah.
that ended up just dipping on investors. So I don't know if it's even a character thing as much as like if you're publicly traded, that's all public info.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of being
Yeah,
publicly traded.
It'll be interesting to see how that shakes down. I feel like they're just gonna ignore it and then keep doing like part of the course, basically. Kinda like
I
what
hate
happened.
I hate to see it personally, but
I think that's exactly what's gonna happen.
yeah, you're right. I mean, what if they have money? They have money. So let's go 2020.
Yeah. Like I said, I think Thunder's best course is that they turn into what MVG is now, which they just focus strictly on content creation. They get a good team of people, like a small, concise group of content creators involved, and like they have somebody with legs in the scene that like knows what they're doing, running everything.
Well,
So,
that seemed like it was the goal. It seemed like they were trying to be a content house, but then just kept saying they were gonna have content and then didn't. And then they started doing tournaments.
yeah, it's weird. It's biting off way more than you can chew.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
it's every sort of like cheesy expression you can think of, like a bite off more than you can chew, like cart before the horse, Sky Williams on a green screen, like everything that you could have imagined. Actually, I take that back. That's my sleep paralysis demon. Like
Sky Williams on the green machine.
I forgot about that.
yeah, it's just Sky Williams just
On the screen,
fucking
green
Yeah.
screen.
appears.
It's hard. It's hard to like. I don't know. Is it hard to just show up and run a tournament and not seem like they want to do something big? Like I feel like it's hard to do that and come off as an authentic thing. I don't know. It's like and I feel like in two cases it was kind of a strikeout from the community. Like, community's pretty good at sniffing things out where it's like we don't really like this and we're not really sure why, but we just don't.
Yeah, like everybody's got a great like mystery where it's like they just when things are fishy, the people are really quick at sniffing it out. Like
Yeah.
because like you can like when someone generally wants to run a tournament, like they for the better interest of the scene, like it works out. Like we just had who's the kid that just ran the Melee regional and the
Oh
Ultimate
yeah,
regional
that kid
in our-
rules. I've seen him all over
in
Twitter.
our state. The Axis.
Yeah, access.
the kid's like
totally.
Yeah, the kid's 16 and he ran like a huge regional in New Jersey for both Melee and Ultimate. And if you have the chops and you have the passion and the people will come and they'll see that. But like if you're just coming around like the dude in high school that's like driving a Benz that his dad bought him, it's like, yo girl, I got all this money, and they're like, all right, but like what's your
What are your intentions?
yeah, like what's your
What are
credit
your
score?
intentions with my Smash community?
Yeah,
That-
what's your
What's your
credit?
that-
5-year plan?
That's me.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
That's literally me. Like, what are your intentions, buddy?
Yeah, no, that's a very fair question, and I think I don't know. I feel like honestly, it's hard to have that being your. It's tough, man. It's
Yeah.
complicated.
Thunder is collectively all of our sleeper out demons. Now that I think about it, like,
Yeah, there's a little
I
something in
forgot
there
about
for
that
everyone.
Sky Williams thing. Damn.
That's so funny.
it was looking back at it. It's like everyone's
They did
reaction.
Shit.
They did Between Two Ferns, but with Omni. But I feel like most of Twitch chat hadn't seen Between Two Ferns, so they just thought it was really awkward and like they didn't understand that was the bit.
Right.
So it was
yeah.
which just made it more awkward. Like
I was
I
just
don't
like,
know, dude.
this is gonna go over. I was like, this is gonna go over everybody's head, but
this shit kind of flopped, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, not because it wasn't well executed. I thought it was funny, but I got the joke. But and I'm not saying like I got it because I'm on this next level of
yeah,
comedic intellect. It's because I've watched the reference they're making.
right.
I feel like
But,
if they made an anime reference to a room full of normies, this is not gonna There's just no one's gonna laugh at that. Oh, there you go. There's my man Sky.
No, there's one where it looks like way worse than like dude, it's so bad. I have to find it and show it to you guys later. It's just like Sky Williams is just like the Princess Leia hologram in like a new, and like he's just on a green screen. Like it's just,
That's a funny image to me.
yeah, it's
awesome.
but yeah, so 2020 is gonna be fun. How do you think we will get a new DLC character idea before Genesis?
The Game Awards, that was hilarious.
Dude, honestly, like put Muppet Goose in Smash and I'm okay.
Put Beaker in, bro. He deserves it.
Dude, Beaker, he deserves it.
Beaker
That
rules.
was
been
my
through a
favorite
lot.
bit. Like we watched the entirety of the Game Awards at DNA that Thursday, and all I got out of it was Muppet Goose and Green Day, which I could have gotten at home. So
Green Day, very old.
yeah,
Yep.
they showed up, played Welcome to Paradise, and
And
a
they're
song I
like,
didn't
"We got-"
recognize, and they're
Yeah.
like, "All right, good night."
If,
I love the Muppets.
Muppets rule.
What's everybody's favorite Muppet? Who's your favorite Muppet?
Dude,
Animal. I'm an animal
Oh,
guy.
that's a good
Beaker, I'd say
choice.
Beaker too, but he's such a. I feel like that's kind of cheating because he's so relevant.
Yeah,
I love Beaker, dude. He cracks me up.
I'm a Fozzie Bear guy. Waka Waka.
Sure.
Come on,
Yeah.
man. Rainbow Connection, banger. Play that song on my funeral.
Dude,
What are there?
I just like the count.
Counts good.
Okay, that's Sesame Street.
It's technically,
Oh
technically
no,
a-
that is
Sesame
Sesame
Street.
Street, dude. Oh
It's-
it
my
is technically a
god.
Muppet.
Well, he's
Chris-
a
Oh, if we're counting all of Sesame Street, that changes the whole game. God,
It's, so who else comes into play?
count.
It's-
Snuffleupagus, Ernie, Bert.
Collectively or both?
Yes.
yes.
Actually, what my first word was ever as a human?
What?
It was actually Alice, which is Snuffleupagus's little sister.
Huh.
Oh, that's
I said Alice. That was my first word.
that's cool. I thought you were gonna be like yes.
No, can rule.
Can rules.
Can rule. No,
No. Oh
that
my-
was such a good one, dude. It's so empowering to have someone get so angry at you on Twitter and then you just write no back to them and just like watch it blow up even more. It's so funny. I'm sure you've seen me implement this technique. It's very powerful.
It's honestly some of the bright spots of my day.
Oh,
I will-
and if you
I-
think Terry is below 12th in the tier list, you haven't thought about this game enough. And who are you to say this? No.
Yeah.
No. There's
I look forward to
Sure.
two things on Twitter every week. It's Larry's
Oh.
it's Larry's picture of Champ going to MSM and has just replying no to some shepherd on Twitter.
Yeah, it's bad. I
It's
love
so-
doing that, dude. Or sometimes people will say like nice things to me. I'll always reply. Like, or sometimes you can't. I don't know, dude. Like just picking my spots to reply is so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah, DLC characters. Wow, that was a weird tangent.
It started with
actually-
Beaker.
bro.
I want Goose Muppet. That's all I want. Otherwise, I don't think we're getting anything in February.
Dude, I'm still holding out for Master Chief.
Yeah, it's totally
I
possible.
believe.
Well, what's crazy about the whole thing is that like there was leading up to the Game Awards, there was a whole people that like swore they knew what it was gonna be, and like everybody's been wrong. I truly think the character 5 is gonna be the brain melter.
It's gotta be.
It's gonna be this character that you wouldn't have expected in a million, not in Father's Super Smash Brothers. Like, it's gonna be something crazy dumb. But yeah, any other thoughts on that going into 2020?
The characters.
Yeah, just like in general, like
I just want to see. I just want to see who the next one is, and then we'll handle it as we go from there. We have no idea what the next passes will be. Will it be 5 characters again? Maybe will it be 3? Who knows?
All I'm gonna
see.
say is I'll be severely disappointed if it's just Sora. That's all I'm gonna say.
Why? I heard a lot of that recently. I think he's a fine choice.
I think he'd be good as a middle of the pack. Like you could bring him in the next DLC pack. It's just
I don't want Disney
I'm
anywhere near my
bored.
Super Smash.
Yeah, I'm just.
Sora's not Disney.
I mean, he sort of is by association.
He's square. He's
Why-
square.
what is-
Well, guess
what is
what?
this
All of his
picture?
all of his best
It's
friends,
great.
all of his best friends are Disney. So,
Yeah. So what?
oh god.
So
He's
someone,
not-
please, someone please explain this picture to me. I'm so
Hold on.
upset. What the
No.
fuck?
This is funny.
What is this? What is the context behind
I
this?
don't know. I saw it on Twitter.com. I thought it was funny, so I sent it to you.
I'm so upset.
And now I'm just
So,
thinking. I'm just thinking of the Rhythm and Balance song.
I just hate that I see this couch and I know what it is.
Oh, what? That picture's hilarious.
I know you want to say what else would it be. I know
The
you're.
Sonic.
I just hate that I know what that couch is. I'm moving on before I get myself in trouble.
Anyway,
So yeah, let's make big moves coming up this Saturday, this weekend. My God, it's here already, dude. It's
yeah,
crazy.
This
it's gonna be
had-
great.
yeah.
Obviously, that tournament is so stacked. Do we have the entrance somewhere? I'm gonna look at the entrance.
Yeah, I'll find the Smash GG. Let me see.
Chris, you might have to do some heavy editing on this episode.
Dude, I do zero editing all the time.
You're crazy for that. We go on way too many tangents for that shit.
Dude, you know what? The people love it. So
Do they?
Oh.
I think so. I've met exactly one fan that he said he likes the podcast, so that's enough for me.
720 registered? No way.
Wow.
Juton, Nairo, Void, DeBuzz, T, Tamim, my man, Cosmos, MVD, James, did the translation. Kameme, Raito, Wishes, Larry, Light, Wadi, Samsora, Anti, Mute Ace, Elegant, Rishi, Lima, Luna.
Hazmat?
Oh, yeah, we're working down towards that. Mars, Leon. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, this
Ned,
tournament is
Ned,
stacked.
6WI, Maester, Sinji, Black Twins. Yeah, DJ Nintendo. Oh, Cax gonna be that cool. Rodea, Chia, Zone, Kid Goggles, Rappy X, Zyvon, False.
False.
Dude, what the fuck? Logic.
Everybody is here, man.
Yeah,
Holy
everybody
shit,
is
truly.
here. Interesting. You know what? I could get on board with Let's Make Moves being like the year in tournament kind of because this was the first tournament of the game.
It's really good.
And now it's the first tournament of the new year, and both of them were equally the biggest in their respective. So yeah,
Yeah, we kind of lost that when Apex kind of shit the bed. Like there wasn't really a big tournament to kind of like kickstart the year.
What a
and now we
bummer
have-
that was, man. What a loss. That was just terrible all around, man.
Yeah,
Sucks.
it's
I mean, it
quite
obviously
unfortunate.
it makes sense, but like, just the whole everything about it just sucks.
Yeah, but yeah, it's at least like Let's Big Moves is like looking to slowly move into that space
Yeah,
of that like first of the year tournament we can all look forward to. and
we'll do better. We'll do better than Apex.
exactly with blackjack and that other word, but
You can't say hookers on this podcast.
you could say hookers on this podcast. You could
All
I'm
right.
quoting Bender Rodriguez. It's fine.
Bender Bending Rodriguez.
Yeah, uh-huh.
hmm
what a great show. Oh my god. Yeah, the tournament's gonna be sick. I'm excited.
Who's
I think the
Who's
thing that-
winning? Who's winning? That's all I want to know.
Is
Is
Who-
Leo
who-
going?
I don't think so.
No, I don't see him.
He is
That
not
would-
going. Ooh,
Uh,
that honestly, I hate to say it because I really like Leo, but that makes it so much spicier.
It
yeah,
does.
no, I agree.
Who's winning? Is
'cause-
it Sammy? Is it the Buzz? Is it Tweak? Is it Nairo? Wow, imagine
Who's
if
been grinding?
Nairo's.
That's the real question because it's been a hiatus. Like, who's been grinding?
Yeah,
This whole time.
dude, the
I would've
That's
Buzz.
what it's gonna come down to.
I feel like the Buzz has been grinding. I feel like
Yeah, I'll give it to the
Yeah,
buzzer.
good answer. I don't know
dude,
if
he's
he'll win,
he
but
always he'll be in top 8 easy.
yes. Well, I don't know about easy.
Well,
but
not
he
easy,
probably
but
will
I
be.
think he'll be in top 8. Yeah.
Thing about this tournament. Wow, that is gonna be crazy. But since it's all gonna be about the most recent grind, and since there haven't been a lot of big tournaments, I bet you we're gonna see a lot of high level upsets.
Dude, what if
I
like
bet you.
what if it's like Sinji and like who
Possible.
else? I know it is, dude. Sinji's been
Possible.
grinding harder than anyone actually that I've seen. He's been coming to weeklies, monthlies, pretty much everything. He set up.
That's
Koopa-
exactly the type of player I'm looking for.
Koopa
right now.
didn't he mention to you on Saturday? He goes, "This might be a stretch, but I'm gonna be the number 1 in the world." And I was like, you know what, Sinji?
Yeah, no.
I believe
That is a
Go-
stretch.
I was like, oh, dude, it's a
You know
huge
what,
stretch.
No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, now you're just
Good.
like, yeah, actually, man, you know, it is a stretch. But
But you have to think like that in order to at least even do well.
Dude.
Like, if you're just sitting there like I'm happy getting second, I'm like fuck.
Let me tell you something. I know
Yeah.
Sinji might bore some people, and I know Pac-Man might not be the most like exciting.
I like watching Pac-Man. I don't give a fuck.
But
who
like
does it.
Sinji's pretty good, man, and his Pac-Man does
He's
some
really
N1
good.
shit. Like I don't know. I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah, he's pretty
Yeah.
good.
You got laid. Austin under singles. That's my choice. Austin will win with the Crom 26 up Bs every game. The Crom.
What's 26 times 26.4? A million%. Crom wins every time. GG's.
Oh, New England's showing up to this tournament, so that should be cool. It should be good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with safe picks and say like Tweak or DeBuzz, but I think my outlier pick will be-
Nairo.
and Nairo. That's someone that can.
What
think
if
of
it's
too.
Nairo's first Nairo's had a couple wins already by now, but
But like winning an S tier in
Yeah, and
his
it
backyard, that would be like
amazing.
godlike.
Yeah.
How do you?
I'm gonna
think,
go-
How do you think Leon's gonna do? Sorry.
I think he'll do. Leon Stock's been kind of like wavering.
Yeah, I know.
It
There-
depends on what his bracket looks like.
I think
He'll
Leon.
make like top 16, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Worst case 17th in my opinion.
Yeah, that's how
seems
I
to be
feel.
his floor.
Like I think he'll get that top
Ooh.
16, 17th range.
Speaking of people grinding, I am very excited to see how Anti does this weekend. I think he could do really well, honestly.
Ooh, that's a
Dude, he's been grinding a lot. He's been playing a lot of Smash. He's been carrying. He's been posting clips. He found his
Yeah.
characters.
yeah,
Really,
when
really,
Anti gives a shit, he's
I
like
know.
a very scary person.
he's my dark horse choice there, just because. Not that I don't think he's good, but he hasn't done anything yet.
No, very true.
I think
Pretty
he's
good.
gonna be somebody to watch, and he'll be very fun to watch.
Dude,
He's-
what if Meister just ends up winning?
he definitely could?
He could.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
What if
His
Grand
bracket-
Fi- what if-
he's reached that level where it kind of comes down to his bracket?
What if Grands is Meister and Sinji?
I leave.
I think Meister just wins.
Yeah, I would
That too.
imagine.
I think that's just how it goes.
Just a 2v
And I
battle.
leave. I
And
go
I
out for
leave.
dinner.
No disrespect, of course. I just think that's a rough matchup. I think, as far as I know, and he plays against. Didn't he? Wasn't T at the? I was gonna say the trap house at the. Isn't he at the? Sorry, that's in New England. That's what we call when Lade rents out an Airbnb and we all grind for
Damn,
the weekend.
that's
because
hype.
of the trap. Yeah, it's dope. But wasn't T at the Summit House?
Yes.
So they probably played a lot. I feel like there's got to be. They played at least one set. I'm sure. Maybe two. This is gonna be a crazy tournament. Like if he runs into Mars, I think Meister's kind of fucked. So it depends on the bracket. Like Zeus who wins that matchup, he does well in it. So is Zachary going? Abstract's going. That's right. Canada's going.
I don't see him. Is
Ooh.
Riddles going?
Yeah.
He
Ooh.
is.
God, so many
Ooh.
good players, man.
Yeah.
This tournament's gonna be broken. But you want to know what I'm looking forward to the most, though, is that one of the most broken aspects of a tournament in New York City is A, the location is kind of busted for like the price of the hotel you're getting, and B, it doesn't matter what time your bracket lets out for today. There's always gonna be some place open and get food.
That's true.
True,
Yeah, the
true.
city does
Not
not
true,
sleep,
yeah.
as they say.
I am so stoked to just like roam the streets of 3 a.m. just and to like find mac and cheese somewhere.
Mac and cheese rules, especially
Fact.
at 3 a.m.
Absolutely.
Especially at 3
Um,
a.m.
Yeah, I'm just excited. And it's gonna be fun to see.
I gotta tell you, I wouldn't be surprised to see someone like I was just looking through here, like a Nick C kind of break through the top echelon or something like this. Like,
Oh, please, dude, that'd be so sick.
well, do think about it. It's right in his backyard. I mean, this is where Defend the North was. These
been
guys
kinda
are
AFK,
comfortable there.
hasn't
He has been, but anytime he shows up, he still turns
he?
out.
Yeah, he's so good.
I think the
I think
last
might be Jen's time.
dude,
Maybe.
I would love that personally. I think that'd be
course.
I would be all for that timeline.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this will be an interesting one. Wow, yeah, I'm just looking at
It's a
all the
great way
names
to
from
start the
everywhere.
season.
Holy crap.
Yep. 24-hour venue, New York City. It's gonna be a good time.
It's an amazing way to start the season, and like again, no offense, I love watching Leo play, but the timelines or the storylines are just a little more interesting when he's not there. Because the storyline when he's there is like who's gonna beat Leo, or can anyone beat Leo? Which don't get me wrong, that's interesting enough, but little more interesting to watch people duke it out in the top 8 when there's no clear favorite. Or
I don't know, man. Aussie. That's a real good choice you got.
Their
there.
sleeper pick.
I haven't seen Aussie in a minute. It'll be good to see him too. Catch up.
Yeah, no, that's what I love about majors. It's been so long since we've all seen.
That's what I hate about majors. I can't deal with you
Oh,
guys.
that reminds me, Matt. I've been meaning to give you things for like we're getting to. So Merry Christmas.
Christmas, damn, bro.
Yeah, I've been meaning to give you this stuff for getting to it. So
All
I'm
right.
this is future me reminding. No, this is past me reminding future me. Take the shit out of your trunk. Okay.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, so I guess we've covered basically everything for the most part.
And then some.
Yeah, and I do want to say,
Not too much then, so.
yeah,
God damn it.
as
Dude, this is our first. This is our
Half
first.
hour, half hour talking about reality TV.
Dude, that was 10 minutes. All right.
No, but it's stacked up, bro.
It did.
yeah,
it did.
Felt like
Tune
a
in-
half hour.
Tune in next week for my extensive Survivor season breakdown of all of my favorites. Just
This
kidding.
is all I'm gonna say. Is this is our first week back in several, so I'll take it.
Yeah, it's just fun, and like I think we found a good rhythm. We know each other well enough. We've been doing these podcasts for the better part of together for the last few months, and like it's been fun. And as we move into 2020, I just want to say, we're gonna continue to grow. We're going into another year of the podcast, and as long as tournaments and Nintendo stuff keeps happening, or as long as they keep making reality television, we're gonna have shit to talk about.
True.
Yeah, it's true. And I think this podcast is gonna continue to evolve into other stuff too. So
Yeah, like I definitely have some ideas of things that I want to try for us to do. Maybe some interviewee content. Maybe do some other podcasts in general. Just like please the many audiences that we do have. Like the 5 people that showed up that liked Masked Singer and Super Smash Brothers. Like
yeah,
for that guy.
like we're there for you, man.
Yeah,
I just
will
want,
be
I
there
just
for
want more of those guys. That's all. More of those guys who don't just want to talk frame data at me. That's all I want.
Yeah, but again, it's been a pleasure and an honor to be doing this for this last 12 months with you guys, and I look forward to A, seeing you guys this weekend, and B, continuing to do more contenty stuff, because the world is our oyster and we're just here to live in it, I guess.
Yeah, man. Big mood facts.
Big fact moves.
Let's make.
Let's make big facts move facts. Oh my god.
Let's make big mood facts.
Yeah, it's been a great year. I'm looking forward to the next year of Ultimate. It should be a fun time, and you guys have been awesome, of course. Appreciate everything you guys have done for me, and yeah, keep this thing going here in 2020.
Yeah.
So let me be the first to wish you guys a happy new year, and the last to wish you Merry Christmas and happy holidays. As we this is gonna be it for us in 2019. The next time you hear from us, we might actually, I don't know, PR stuff. which we
Oh
didn't get to
God,
talk about
yeah.
yet.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I think that is the next one. We haven't really talked about it much, but it's coming. I know. We got to do that next couple weeks.
Yeah. Oh Lord, it's coming. I'll post all the form stuff tomorrow, just because I'm fucking dying. In
That's
my
a good
bed.
idea. Yeah. I think get a little bit of leeway on the new year. At least you hope.
Yeah, but
Probably
anyway,
not.
from the Gloves Off podcast, thank you for watching us in 2019. We'll see you guys in 2020. Have a wonderful night.
Bye bye.